So, I posted this on a top comment of yesterday's video on my Halo Weekly series. I heard that if you like this post, Season 2 roadmap will drop. 100% accurate information. Literally a few hours later, 343 Industries announced Season 2. I mean, when you see another comment like that next time, it might be worth dropping it a like. But yes guys, you are not dreaming. 343 have announced Halo Infinite's Season 2, and it's going to be called Lone Wolf. 343 put out a full article today detailing what we should expect in Halo Infinite Season 2, which is announced to be coming on May the 3rd as well. I am pleasantly surprised, to be honest, with some of the features and things that are coming in Season 2. However, it is still very basic, so do keep that in mind. Again, we haven't been told what events are going to be coming in Season 2, only some of the details around some of the things like the maps and some armor pieces, some interesting details around the story and game modes and things like that are coming. So I want to go over all of that in today's video, guys, and break it down so you guys know exactly what to expect within Season 2 so far. And the article was written by Joe Staten himself as well, which is also a really nice touch in my opinion. Maybe consider leaving a like on today's video. Again, another big announcement might be coming fairly soon. Anyway, let's get into it. Okay, so first of all, the lack of communication and visibility from 343 in the last 2 months has not been great, and I want to address this at the very beginning of this video. They've left us in the dark and allowed Halo Infinite's player base to decline massively, with about, I believe, almost between 2,000 and 6,000 players every single day, whereas when the game initially first released in the first 2 months, we were upwards in the range of around 70 to 100,000 people a day. So the decline has been really significant. But they have addressed some of the concerns with this in the first statement, and I do want to cover this and update everyone with the thought process behind 343 and why there's been a lack of communication from the team, and I think it's important to make sure this is out the way first. Again, make sure you guys check the timestamps in the description down below to skip to whichever part of the video that you're more interested in as well, but I would suggest, of course, sticking through the entire thing so you know exactly what is coming from Season 2. Hey everyone, I'm here to answer 2 questions that we know are at the top of the mind for the Halo community. What is the Halo Infinite team working on right now? And when can we expect new content and features? I'll start with brief answers and then we'll get into more detail, including sharing some new information on what's to come in Season 2. This is the focus of the Halo Infinite team in priority order. Number 1, addressing issues negatively impacting the player's experience. Number 2, completing Season 2 and delivering it as promised May the 3rd. Number 3, continuing to work on campaign co-op, Forge and Season 3. More on that a bit later on in the video. We also have a priority 0 that undergirds everything that we do, namely team health, with an emphasis on getting ourselves into a sustainable development rhythm so that we can deliver great experiences to you all whilst keeping a healthy work/life balance. Priority 0 means that we sometimes need to move slower so that we can move faster later on. Frankly, these last few months have been slower than expected, and we sincerely thank you for your patience as we stay true to the priorities above. Anyway, moving on to something that's very interesting actually, and it briefly mentions things like progression systems, the Spartan career, and of course service records and things along those lines where you can see your stats and different medals and things like that as well. But not just this, also big known issues plaguing the player base like bugs, actual problems in game, and things like desync and other things like that as well. So it turns out that 343 are actually making something and have announced something called a hot list. This hot list will be updated every single week, and it will detail everything that the studio are working on, which is their top priority effectively. A quote from 343 from this states the below. An example of the kind of known hot list issues is Spartan career, aka score-based progression systems. Example of unknown issues at launch were vulnerabilities in our anti-cheat system and problems with big team battle matchmaking that we didn't realise existed until we launched the game at scale. Thus far, we have prioritised acute, unknown before ship issues that have a widespread negative impact on the ship experience. Some issues have been addressed and cleared for the hot list. For example, big team battle matchmaking, which was fixed in a previous update. Some have had partial improvements but need more work, for example the anti-cheat as well, and others are in active development but not yet released, example Spartan career, campaign co-op and Forge. We're working on a public-facing version of this hot list, similar to what the studios did during the Master Chief Collection update, so that all of you will have a clear and constant window into the status of hot list issues that the team are working to address. So, with me reading between the lines a little bit here, it looks as though that a progression system is potentially coming in Season 3, so fingers crossed about that. Anyway, moving on to Season 2 details and information. Season 2 is of course going to be called Lone Wolf, and we're going to have a brand new addition to the multiplayer storyline, which will directly link to the canon of Halo Infinite and the Halo universe in general. So, reading off a couple of the statements from 343 about this. By theme, we mean a core idea that guides the creation of much, but not all, of the season's content. Lone Wolf Spartans are hunters, trackers. They're resourceful improvisers, operating deep in enemy territory without resupply or support. They're fierce, rugged, and prefer to work alone, but they're still loyal to the Spartan pack. Here's an early peek at 2 of these lone wolves to expect in Season 2. On the left, you'll see Spartan Sigrid Eklund, and then on the right, you'll see Spartan Hugh Din. You'll learn more about them and spend more time with the Spartan commander Lieutenant Agrina as you dive into Season 2's story. A mix of cinematics, story-themed events, battle pass items, and more that embody the Lone Wolves theme. Similar to the Season 1 trailer, there'll be a full story in Halo Infinite's multiplayer. This is canon and will link directly into the canon universe of Halo Infinite and just Halo in general as well, so there's also a really nice touch there. However, 343 also go on to say something very interesting, and I'm all for this, by the way. This is one of the coolest things that they've mentioned so far, and this opens the window to different armor cores and essentially integrations from different games with armor and things, so take a listen to this. But like I said, not all season content is directly linked to this theme. As a prime example of this, our 3 Fracture Core armor for Season 2. Here is a concept of that core, and we can't wait to show you all the customization options for it, and for the 3 Lone Wolves armor core. This looks so damn sick. Wow, it gives me massive Doomslayer vibes. I love this concept. I love the fact that 343 are exploring different options as well. Some that may potentially not be directly canon, but they could make it canon in a silver timeline. They did this in the Master Chief Collection as well, and it's just really, really cool. But yeah, 343, more armor like this, please. It's just really, really cool. During Season 2, we'll also be shipping playlist updates, balance changes, new modes, new maps, specifically WoD Arena map called Catalyst, and one big team battle map named Breaker. So we're only getting 2 maps in Season 2, which is a bit disappointing really, but I'm hoping maybe more will be added a little bit down the line. So new game modes include The Last Spartan Standing, a free-for-all elimination mode, as well as another new mode named Land Grab, plus a return of an updated all-time favourite mode, King of the Hill. So as we mentioned in our last couple of videos, King of the Hill was one of those modes that were leaked, and that is confirmed to be coming in Season 2. However, there are no mention of Infection, which is really, really interesting. So maybe Infection will be coming in the Tactical Ops update that should be coming on the 8th of March. Would be nice if it did. Would be very good to jump back on and give Infection another go, especially in Halo Infinite. So yeah, I'm hoping that Infection will come back on the 8th of March for Tactical Ops for Season 1. So fingers crossed about that. They then go on to say that in April, Season 2's promotional campaign goes into full force, so expect things like trailers and much more content and details around Season 2 coming in April time. So again, make sure you guys subscribe for that on the channel, because I'll be doing videos on it as soon as it does drop. So yeah, that's something to look forward to. Now, moving on to a couple of things that we didn't really want to hear. Co-op campaign has been delayed again. A statement from 343 on this, and quote, "We're making great progress on campaign network co-op, and to be clear, this work has been occurring in parallel to the Season 2 work, as has our work on Forge. But the reality is that we're going to need more time to land a high quality, full feature, 4-player network co-op experience in the massive, wide open world of Halo Infinite. We're also committed to a great 2-player split screen co-op experience on all Xbox consoles, from the original Xbox through to the Series X. And the non-linear, wide-open sections of the campaign present some bigger challenges for split screen that have taken us a little bit more time to solve. All of this means that we'll not be able to ship campaign network co-op on May the 3rd, at the start of Season 2. But we're still aiming to deliver campaign network co-op later in Season 2, and we'll share a release date for that and for split screen as well as soon as we can. Campaign co-op will not be shipping on May the 3rd, and unfortunately it'll be coming later on in Season 2, potentially a couple of months after. Bearing in mind a season is typically 3 months long, so maybe it will take 1 or 2 months for that to be announced. This is really sad because playing with friends is pretty much everything, especially on a single player campaign like Halo Infinite. I just fear that the campaign will suffer so much from this, and its apparent neglection. In Season 3 it may be too late, and if we don't get some form of campaign content or even updates within the campaign soon, I just feel like this campaign is gonna kind of just be forgotten. Especially to the casual fan. The hardcore player will always remember and always want to dive back into the lore, but the casual fan is really going to suffer and not really be too bothered when an update does come out about it. However, on a little bit more lighter news, 343 did update us on Forge and even some new content coming to Season 2 as well. So, and quote, "We're also making great progress on Forge. Indeed, we're already flighting Forge to a small group of the community creators and working closely with them to ensure that all of you have a terrific experience creating, sharing, browsing, and playing Forge content. In the near term, we will continue to privately flight Forge as we develop it, whilst we also plan for public flights later in the year. We still have the goal of shipping Forge with Season 3, so that's also good to hear." But also reading into the lines of this statement a little bit more, it goes into saying creating, sharing, and browsing, so potentially we'll have file share, server browsers as well for these Forge modes, and then of course be able to create and upload your own maps and designs, similar to what we did in Halo 5, so that's also good to know that that's also coming back. Speaking of Season 3, whilst the majority of the team are tackling the hot list items, shipping Season 2 and working on campaign co-op and Forge, there are also many folks that are already hard at work at Season 3. We'll be sharing additional details on specifics on all of these development efforts at a later date, potentially a month or so before Season 3 is meant to launch. Importantly, we're not just planning to address hotfix items at the start of seasons. Similar to update 1.1.1 that launched a little more than a week ago now, we intend to ship fixes, features and content in more agile ways during our seasons as well. And speaking of great seasonal content, our Season 1 event Tactical Ops starts next week, specifically on the 8th of March, until the 22nd I believe. So get set for variants of the new Tactical Slayer mode, along with new armor cores as well. The closing statement from Joseph Staten goes into detail and says, and quote, "On behalf of the entire team, thank you again for your patience and your passion. Please keep your feedback coming. Know that we are listening and learning, and that we're working hard to deliver more Halo Infinite content that we hope you love to play." But in summary guys, we know that Season 3 is going to have, again, full co-op campaign, also going to have Forge, hopefully things like firefights, and even a progression system, which Joe Staten did go on to address and tease a little bit there as well, which is really exciting. Even if that as well, we have a service record coming in Season 3, so Season 3 will essentially be the beginning of Halo Infinite with the features that should have been there at launch. So again, I believe that'll be around August time we should have that, and maybe things may get delayed a month or so into Season 3, but around Season 3, definitely Season 4, which may be too late, I don't know. Everything will be in the game that should be in the game, and maybe around that time we should have some campaign DLC as well. But just know that, again, March the 8th, we're going to have Tactical Ops events coming to Season 1 as well, so give us something a little bit to play for the next week or two, and a new battle pass to explore and complete as well. But just know that, again, co-op campaign has been delayed around a month or two into Season 2, so potentially Season 3 will be the time where everything will be there. So yeah, fingers crossed. Let me know in the comments what you think. But guys, that's all for today's video. Not really a lot, a few pictures and images, but again, Season 2, it looks okay. Really, we're getting one new arena map, one new big team battle map, and then just a couple of other game modes. So there's not really a hell of a lot of content coming. I was expecting maybe 2-3 arena maps with 1 or 2 big team battle maps, but don't keep your expectations too high, guys. This is a live service game after all, and as Joe Staten said himself, this game's never really going to be finished, and content will just be rolling out and drip fed to us as and when. So hopefully we get some communication from 343 going forward. I don't like the fact that we have radio silence for a couple of months, but we'll have to wait and see. But guys, I hope you have enjoyed today's video. Drop a like if you have. Let me know what you think down below, and let me know what you think of Halo Infinite's current state so far. Leave a like if you're excited, guys. Subscribe for more content coming. Have a great rest of your day. Speak soon, and take care, everyone.